So as you may recall from last week's adventure, you all had a wonderful time on a short side quest. As you made your way in to an old abandoned chapel. Once you were there, you had yourself some good times, kicked some butt, found some nice loot, and made your way back to the road. A small little side venture right off the get-go, as the team knows they're traveling, so they're bound to see a number of random ventures while they traverse the broken world. The weather is very rarely kind or forgiving, but the other flip of that means the same can be said for much of the animals in the world. They're usually not in the mood to attack. You'll find many times over the next week or two while you were traveling that you wouldn't have had very many issues at all. Possibly some game to go and catch if anybody on the team is so inclined. Hunting would be slightly scarce. Many of the animals are in decline. Which means once or twice during this venture you had to fight off a small pack of wolves. What would be worthwhile combat, however, quickly dissipates. A single arrow or two lobbed towards them is more than enough to scare them off. Few things willing to risk combat against a group as large as yours. Which leads us towards the end of the comfortable, safe travels. Now, at this time, you and the caravan would be approaching a crossroads. Now, I do have the map unpaused and the clock once again ticking, as it's gently raining. Just enough to give you that light bit of refreshment. An umbrella will provide you more than adequate coverage. But you see, oh my god, you've had weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Everyone's maxed out. Give you back all your stats. Because I do see Ulog making the mention there. I totally would have helped out and healed you up to full. Oh no, everybody. Feel free to max back up. You've had plenty of time. The wonderful thing about travel.
Question about the weeks and their diseases.
Oh yes, like all of us were diseased as fuck.
Indeed.
I think it was Ulag and
Me, you,
vaccine.
Jameson, did you get diseased?
I luckily did not.
Could have sworn you'd gotten diseased.
I think we need to do some fortitude checks to see if it progresses.
The ghoul fever, as it's called. And let me see. Let me grab a screenshot of that using pain so I can grab an image. Yeah, that's right. Dungeon Master with all the powerful tools still uses paint as one of his best art tools because, come on, copy paste. Makes life easy. Now, you won't be able to copy the data out of this because it is a picture, but to give an idea of ghoul fever and the various effects of it, I think it may even be in the handouts now that I stop and think about it. Nope, but I'll add that one in. We'll throw the full
No,
picture.
you PM'd it to us.
Ah, even better. So you do have it in writing too. Makes life easy. But there it is. So if you want to go ahead and roll a fort save.
Right.
As you get one day, midday, and Ulog has unfortunately failed.
Oof, not much better.
Has the vaccine.
Hang on. Let's just go use my hero point straight away. See what it does. Ah, so close.
You did a 22?
Yeah.
That's so high. Level 2.
The next day would roll through, and as you can see is stage 2 carriers. you don't regain much healing. You've already lost 2d6 negative damage, along with other issues as you wake up with a heavy cough, looking rough, and as this is happening, you see the half-orcs going to walk up towards your character, seeing both of you looking in rough shape, looking for a little bit more information to try to find out what went wrong. Well, of course, you'd fill them in on what happens eventually. You know, this thing bit me since then. It's like, oh, that's not doing too good. Well, go ahead and give me your fort saves at midday for the second day while you're still traveling.
Nope.
Two players
I
are
will
starting
use
to sweat.
I will use my hero point for this one.
Alright, you go ahead and use your hero point. Hey, you've got one pass. You don't get any worse.
But, like, they turn into a ghoul, right? If they keep failing?
Yep.
Should Dean have a backup character? Jesus, Murphy.
Not looking too good, is it? Well, we've got one pass for Ulag, and 2 fails now for Devaxian. So Ulag's not getting any worse. Devaxian isn't looking too good on the 3rd day, so both of you give me saves yet again.
Is there anything we can do to help? Can I give him my hero point?
I don't know.
Well, actually, I was going to ask you about that because could I use my Forbidding Ward spell to assist with this?
This is straight up a fortitude save against disease. I'm not sure of the wording on your ability. Toss it up so I can see. Need one
Because it gives a
ally
+1 to other effects.
Downside is you need one ally and one enemy. And I don't have an enemy for you to scan. If it was D&D, I'd say flat out no. But Pathfinder, it's fun to be a little flexible, especially when players are fighting for their lives. So, you know, for this one, I'd say, yep, you could give one of them a boost.
I'd like to give mine to Devaxian. Did you say, are you talking about the spell or the hero point? Sorry,
Oh, the Forbidden Ward.
Oh, okay, so I can't give him my hero point.
Let me check. I'm not sure if you can.
I would just Dean, give it to Dan. Sorry, Dan,
No,
give it
no.
to Dean.
Yeah, that was the plan. And, well, because the other thing is, I know if we were paying attention and I asked beforehand, I could have given it to Dean for his first roll, which would have made that a pass.
Well, I'm just going to roll mine,
But,
and we'll see if the +1 will make a difference anyway. Because we've been rolling pretty low. Yeah, so I'd still be 1 short.
Another fail pushes you down further as you are looking very rough now. Your character holding
my
on by fingernails, as it were.
Is there anybody on the caravan that can help him? Like, Nestri will spend a whole day seeing if there's anybody who could help.
As Nestri is checking in on this, the half-orc would pop a hand on your character's shoulder and say, oh, we've been looking into it for the last few days. Here. And they're gonna hold out a box of vials towards you. We don't have many of these potions. Only a few. It should be enough maybe to help carry us, but if they can't come over, whatever's gone wrong with them, I'm not sure what we can do to help them. We don't have much along the ways of healing here. Years back, we'd be able to use remove disease or something of the sort to help, but such magics and power have been beyond us or anything we know. As they hand you a box of lesser restoration vials.
How many
mean,
are
like-
there?
A very small amount of them. Enough to get the characters essentially back on their feet with a couple chugged. But that's not going to cure you. And what's up, John?
So, the thing is, like, we stay at full health. It just takes us longer each day. Because I can keep healing us.
Well, I don't know.
We only get half health back. But it's still...
Am I not at stage 4 now, though? 'Cause I've failed 3 times, so I'm at whatever the negative damage.
Yeah, you would just take 2d6 negative damage.
Well, 4d6 for the multiple stages bound together.
Well, again, so like the day before, I would have fully healed it.
And this happens every day around when you got diseased previously, so that's going to be about 12 o'clock as we continually tag through in the afternoon.
Oh, so every day we're taking the 2d6. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you get the full 4d6 if you're at stage 4 or above. And you regain half as many damage.
Wouldn't it be 66 then? Because stage 3 is same as stage 2.
Yep. Once you pass stage 4, you're up to 66 negative damage every day. And then stage 5 brings it up to 8d6 negative damage. That much damage. Wow, 8d6 is a lot. That's enough to damn near almost kill you every day, or possibly kill you. Let's just roll an 8d6 and see what happens. 20 right there. Devaxium will be left with 8 health on that day because I rolled 4 1s and 2 2s on the dice. That might be the lowest I've ever rolled on that many d6s at once. But, you know, just as an example. Now, on this one while you're traveling, because you were basically giving those saves in sequence to see if you could get lucky enough to get the golden trinity of 2 of them in a row. And you're thinking, Trinity, Alan, that's not 3. Well, you got a 3-way path coming up, but we'll get to that in a minute. Dungeon Master was playing it cruel just to see if you could get over the poison yourselves. Not so much so. After suffering the effects for about a week and a half as your characters struggle along, as you inch closer to the grave as your companions are probably getting concerned, a few draughts of those lesser restoration potions have most assuredly helped. But as we're coming on to the area up ahead, you're down to a grand total of 8 remaining. That's enough for 4 days between the two of you that they can help throw the effects off, which means, thanks to those potions and thanks to those healings, that is right, you are presently sitting at a standard carrier with no ill effects. No damages per day, none of that sort of stuff. Don't have to worry about having to restore almost all of the health of a single creature every single day, repeatedly, or risking death. But it also gives you something of a timeline in order to fix this problem. 4 days since you got bit by ghouls. And they've left you with those restoration potions, and they've warned you they just don't have any more of them. These themselves are quite rare and expensive. But maybe if you can find someone who can cure disease with, you know, the remove disease spell, perfect example. But that's a bit of a higher level spell, sitting I think at level 3 for most everybody. As a level 3 spell or something like that. I don't have it memorized quite so well in this version of the game, so, you know.
I'm not sure either.
So as you are all traveling now, as we get near the end of this season of weather, as rain comes down on your head, you find yourselves approaching a mighty monolith in the middle of the road, probably some 15 feet high, looming overhead and casting its shadow upon the ground. And from it you can see 3 paths diverged ahead. The half-orc traveling with you would approach the party as they explain that there are 3 ways to venture now, to get through to the next spot, before you make it to the great wastes that expand a good chunk of this continent, as they explain a place no one wants to go. But if you're going to travel, we need to pick one of the 3 routes. He even adds, we used to take the road itself, the main road, the route to the far left. But ever since an active volcano has constantly been erupting in that area and spewing lava and making it a magmus monstrous journey, it's not the safest. The other two paths, however, they've heard of. Now, the road was also the most direct path towards the next area. The easiest way to get through. The center path would take you straight through the woods. A little bit longer, a little more winding and twisting and turning. And, as the half-orc would warn you, no one knows what lurks in the woods at night. And then he points towards the northern path. Very long, winding, and stretching, but mostly casual meadows. Used to be farmland, broad, wide, used for that. So it's already been mostly cultivated, mostly empty, but the path is very long. You could be on there for quite some time as you snake your way through. And he also advises that, from what he's understood, half of the people who make that run, despite the fact that it looks the easiest, don't make it to the other side. So the team has to decide which of these three routes the caravan would take. Lava, woods, or meadow?
What was the quickest one again?
Through the lava, through the main path, but no one goes that way anymore strictly because, well, it's an active volcano that hasn't shut up for a good 20 years. Not that it's spewing bog or smog, but you're going to have a barren hellscape waiting for you.
Deacon will pipe up and say, though it is fairly dangerous, it would probably be best to go for the lava route, get back to civilization as soon as possible, and get the vaccine looked at.
I appreciate the thought, but will we even be able to move caravans over a lava flow?
What's the woods again?
Woods, they're dark, they're covered, they're dense and heavy. They're the path that people attempted to cut to create a new path through, so that people each had a way to still travel. Because the meadows, for some unknown reason, has an exceptionally high mortality rate. The orc's gonna look towards you all and say, honest truth, none of the paths are very friendly, very kind, or very safe.
I vote for woods.
I kind of want
Or
to do
we could-
meadows. I want to see what's killing everyone.
Or we could, well, until we get killed by it. What I was thinking, like, I mean, I wouldn't mind going through the lava flows if it was just, like, our party, but we have a whole caravan with us. Like, probably civilians and kids and stuff, so it would be like... Unless we split off from the caravan, I don't know how practical that would be. Unless there was a way to stop the volcano. We could try venturing ahead and
I
seeing
don't
if
see
there's
us.
something disrupting it.
I don't see us stopping a volcano.
I don't know.
I
vote for the
may
woods.
be a little naysayer, just so we're clear. But
No, it's okay. It's I don't mind.
There is no safe path, but from the sounds of it, though it is shorter, the lava flow is going to be treacherous. So it's really the forest or the meadows.
yeah, the forest seems like it'll be harder, but has less of a mortality rate.
Yeah. My gut said woods.
So we have 2 woods, 1 meadow. Dan, Jameson, which do you guys want?
What now?
What route do you guys want to take?
I believe I would go for the woods as...
So that makes it 3 of 5 saying woods. So I think that's the route we should take.
It's just to me like the meadow is longer and we don't know what's killing people.
Is it longer? Honest question. I may have missed that, but I didn't think you said it was longer.
Yep, I mentioned
It's
it was
just-
the absolute longest route.
Oh, okay, I missed that. Alright. Yeah.
I was about to say the wood seems like a happy medium, but I'm like, well, it's not happy. It's definitely a medium. There's no happy in the wastelands. But yeah, I don't know. At the very least, we will be able to hide behind a tree from something.
Yep.
That's got to be worth something, right? Although the last time we went near a tree, it attacked us, so maybe not. But
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we have to pick a route anyway, so
yeah. But yeah, so it sounds like woods won the majority, so we'll go woods.
it's just the fairest way to do it.
Yeah.
Unless Dan
I-
has like a very strong objection for whatever reason.
Dan has honestly not been 100% paying attention because Dan remembered, hey, I have the stone I can turn into a familiar. Can one of them cure disease?
Oh,
Research.
fair.
I do share your curiosity about what's in the meadows, what's killing everyone, but
But you want to take the practical approach of not going to die for sake of curiosity?
we've almost died a lot.
Yeah.
I think we're
Yeah.
almost gonna die in any direction that we pick. So
I just want to point out, we've almost died. We haven't died.
Yeah.
I came pretty close that one time.
Yeah, close is not dead.
Which is too close to comfort for me.
Baby. I'm teasing. I don't blame you. Just so we're clear, but baby.
Okay, in all honesty, I was afraid that the clockwork keeping me alive wouldn't restart.
Yeah. See, we're just so used to almost dying that
Yeah.
is it even that big of a problem anymore?
That's true. Yeah. But you know what? Maybe if we get a couple of resurrection scrolls under our belt, maybe we'll start branching out again. It's been a while since I've been level 1 no.
We're not. We're level.
Oh, level 2, level 1. You know those low levels.
Always a fun time at the lower levels.
Oh yeah, keeps you on your toes for sure.
And even level 2 is still tricky in this one.
Yeah. I feel like really like a level 2 character in Pathfinder, I'm a lot like my dog Fergus. It's just kinda you're curious about stuff but scared of everything, so that you touch something then jump 2 feet in the air. What was that?
Oh gosh.
he literally did that yesterday when I was walking him. It was so funny. He stepped on a branch like there had been like a pop in the tree, like a bird or something, like a big bird. Like it was loud. It had flown up or something, and one of the twigs had snapped, and he was freaked out by that. And then like a couple seconds later, he was fine though. He just like had his ears back and was like looking up. But because he wasn't looking where he was going, kind of wandered off the sidewalk and stepped on a twig. And literally like jumped 2 feet in the air, all 4 paws off of the ground. in a tiny little ball.
That's adorable. Poor baby.
He's a 50-pound dog,
Oh gosh.
completely airborne.
Oh, poor baby.
So funny. He's such a coward. I really wish I wish I had footage of that. It happened so fast. He just kicked me.
I love it.
Sorry for this, but it was very funny. Mama, stop laughing at me. So sorry. Yeah, so woods then? Sorry.
I think so.
Okay.
Well, as you continue to travel, into the woods you go. We got to use all the most crazy names we can because that's more fun. So I'll go ahead and stop the map. Yep.
As a side note, for when you guys go to roll your cure disease, if we spend 8 hours caring for the disease creature, we can attempt a medicine check against the DC. If we get a success, we give you a +2 circumstance bonus on the roll.
Nice.
That would be helpful. Yeah.
Would not hurt. Did I just hear like a yap? Like a
Yeah, that was
puppy?
Addison. That was Addison, not a puppy. She went, yay! That's because he's happy and has a high-pitched kiddo voice. Goodness.
You know what it was? I think it sounded like a yelp because the Discord filter kicked in, so we just heard the very start of it.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, you're-
Which is why I was a little worried, because I thought it was a puppy herd.
Oh, goodness. Well, we'll throw it over to nighttime. See, she's all excited in the background.
Yeah, if anyone knows me, like that's the biggest thing to know about me, is I'm like the biggest sucker for dogs ever.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'd find yourself traversing through the forest as you begin on this path with the caravan holding ground. Now, sure, it's been a path that's been cut, but it's been loosely done. Sometimes you find yourself traveling through forest without any clear road, while other times you find yourself with a slightly beaten trail beneath your feet, which leads to you all becoming a bit of a scouting party at times as you're traveling through. And, true to their word, hours scale by. It becomes later in the evening as you make your way through these woods.
She's just having a right old good time.
Oh yeah, she's like saying, do it. Just saying, goodbye, repeatedly, so I'm thinking, wow, she really wants to play us out on this one. But as darkness begins to creep in, as night comes around the corner, as we start getting closer to about 9 o'clock in-game, the group of you would be leading one walk through this forest in the cold of the night. Everyone go ahead and give me perception checks. Also, just to represent about where your characters would be, feel free to draw them anywhere within this circle I'm about to draw on the map. Just drop them around, a marching order. As it's implied, your characters are traveling this-a-way. Yeah, that's right, I drew a crappy arrow.
2 seconds, I got logged out. Just try to log back in.
Alright, that means he's at front line, just like that. Oh, right.
And I'm using different keyboards, so my muscle memories for typing is short. There we go. Where was the arrow? Which way are we walking?
Oh, from right to left.
From right to left, okay. Stagger a little bit, but it seems good to me. Well, that's some good music. It reminds me of Darkest Dungeon.
Oh, I do love tabletop audio. I get to use some of their other tracks now. I'm mixing two of them together, to be honest, but you know, it's a good time. So as you're making your way through here, with your perception checks being as high as they are, you're getting a 20 and a 19 for two of you there, and it's makes things a little more straightforward than another 20. Sorry, what's that?
I forgot to roll because I was logging in, sorry.
Be one of those things you'd be noticing out the corner of your eyes as it's going down, as the trees begin to rustle as you all move your way forward. What would stand out without a doubt? Those little green ears sticking up as they do. Give me 1 second, I'm not sure if it'll actually let me show a picture from this angle to all the players. There we go. Beady red eyes, ambitious little hands gripping. But this little chittering monster, this goblin that suddenly jumps out from the woods, is most assuredly not alone. Popping out from behind the trees, near where the team is, including an oddly monstrous-looking dog of sorts that definitely doesn't fit the normal bill of what you'd be used to with one of them. In total, 4 goblinoids suddenly coming out on the party, snarling as they do, weapons drawn, chittering, clattering, and screaming out. Apparently Addison doesn't like goblins. And of course, yelling in their goblinoid tongue as they rush forward towards the party. Time to earn your bucks, everybody. Let's roll for initiative. Oof, I rolled a 1 and Sadness Chan got me. I will show you while she insulted me. She got me pretty good.
One more failed to add to the collection. Alright. Oh my god! I rolled well on an initiative? What the hell's going on, guys?
Hey, don't jinx yourself. The rest of the fight won't be quite so good for you if that happens.
No, I'm already jinxed because I rolled well.
No. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. You're gonna get to your turn and roll 1s. And you can't get advantage in this game to try to make that go away. And you've already lost your hero points trying to save them disease. So let's go ahead then. Get some nice fight music going in the background here as we start to take on the most legendary of all foes inside of most of Pen and Paper RP, goblins. A small, motley crew of them jumping you. Now, does anyone actually speak goblin on the team?
Oh, I don't think I speak any languages other than
Do they
Common.
speak Orcish?
No. They're speaking
Then no.
goblinoid at the moment. Coming out, jumping,
No.
yelling, cursing, twisting. The one nearest to Ulog, the little warrior staring up at you with that wicked grin, however, will bark out in common moments before the fight starts. Got money or life? You know, this is your typical shakedown, and they're ready to fight already. You can tell they're ready to charge forward, but a quick throw of cash might make them go away as Devaxian starts this fight.
I don't suppose you would consider a trade.
No. You tell them that it's $10. Or 10 gold pieces for them to live.
While going in the opposite direction, holding out his hand. You pay me. And of course, just saying it doesn't seem to catch their attention. There may be the options of doing a full action, but it might cost you the jump on that first round of combat if you're thinking to try to intimidate, persuade, or something like that. Though I have an initiative order. As of right now, the team's got their finger hovering above the kill button. That's the warning that you've got. And to note as well, as Ulog saying this, looking around, everyone go ahead and give me another perception check as you scan these enemies. We got some nice dice rolls coming across the team there. Are all of you acing them? 20, 20, 21, 20, 22, 20, 21, 20. Well, Deacon's more than welcome to roll for Deacon if you want to on that one, but I mean, the rest of you can tell, glancing across these enemies, sure, that little goblin warrior in the front certainly doesn't look like anything that's catching your attention. You're thinking, if you've seen one, you've seen a dozen with their messed blade and their actions and weapons, but when you look over towards the one on the side, they've got short bows at the ready. They look like they are considerably more battle-hardened versions of your standard goblin. The two of them, in fact, look like they could carry themselves very well in a battle. And that dog, well, you didn't know goblins had dogs, and this one looks vicious like a mastiff. Might give you some trouble to have to deal with it. I was going to use a picture for the Goblin Commando, as it's called, but you know what? Since there's a magic card that works, why not?
Oh, it's fine,
Yes.
It's only a 2/2.
For 5 mana? Jesus.
Oh, right? Like, I mean, it's a common, but that's Goblin Commando for you. Looking at the team, you'd imagine this might be a little bit of a challenge, maybe moderate. It shouldn't be too crazy. I mean, they're goblins after all. And just in case they kill me with copyrights, I'm gonna delete that. They message me like, cease and desist, you may not use Matt. It's such a picture. It was an homage. Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm gonna try. Where's my actions? I can't find it for the life of me. No. I'm just trying to read the text. I don't know. The thing of demoralize is like intimidate.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, I'm gonna look at I guess one of the commandos and try to intimidate them. And it just, do you really want to do this? And
Because you have intimidating there, don't you?
yep. Which I get in the back off. You really want to do this? I don't know. Well,
Essentially, one thing I like about Pathfinder, a lot of times in 5e, you'd be like, oh, I'm now going to have to roll the opposite check for them to see if they can over... No, it's basically, it becomes a DC anytime you're rolling against someone. You take their stats, you add a 10, and you see how it does. A 21 against the Goblin Commando is enough for this one to take a slight back step. Because are you referring to the one up here with the dog or the one down south?
I guess I'll look at the one at the north, I guess, because it's closest.
And that's gonna cause them to have a slightly apprehensive look on their face. Step 1 foot back as they mutter something towards the lead one here in Goblinoid, which caused them to look side on and look towards you while gritting their teeth. At the very least, they're not now charging forward. You think you might be a step towards actually scaring them off, but you've only terrified one of them with your intimidation.
Right. Okay.
And I do believe intimidating them only takes a single action out of your 3.
Yep. Then.
Oh, it even
I
has the 1
will,
square. Yes, it does. Look at that.
Try to see if there's like a. Looking for like an action that would be like lying to them, like deception, to say, if you attack us, the rest of our small army is going to come right for you, and I don't think these have got it in you to fight the 100 of us or so that are coming.
Oh, anyone can lie is an untrained action. And I'll say that takes the 1 action if you want to try another deception check here.
Yep. So.
As you say,
Alright.
better watch it. We got the whole army coming down behind us. Their eyes go wide as they look towards the other commando. He looks back towards the one in charge. Oof, oof, ow. The front goblin warrior's eyes go wide and he glares at you. As he steps a little bit back, he says, "Only half payment?" As you think you've got them on the ropes. It's possible.
Alright.
Another intimidation pass against them or some other form of useful skill like that regard might be enough to push them away, as they seem now apprehensive to attack you. But they're still crazy goblins, and you can never know what to expect from the crazy ones.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the rest of the team's just looking at this, sweating some bullets, like, keep rolling high, Dean, keep rolling high.
I guess just to use a different skill, it's all the same modifier, but I'll go for diplomacy and just say, I tell you what, I'll be kind. We won't take this as an act of war, and you can go home and look for the next bunch of people to attack. Sound good?
Well, you can try to make a request with your diplomacy of that. So, go ahead and roll that check as well. See if the dice are going to be still on fire for you.
Oh, nervous.
The rest of the team isn't saying, kill, kill, kill. You're getting... Jesus. What is this?
Nice.
This is not the Dean we know and play with.
Good.
Well, that's not true. He's clearly decided that this is not a combat, and he rolls well outside of combat.
The honest truth here, however, has been Pathfinder's been kind to Dean's rolls. Not like crazily so, but once in the blue stuff like this will happen now. If it was D&D, they'd be like, you're failing the 3rd one, but keep going, Like, straight up. And so, where the team has allowed you to take the diplomatic route, your character hopping forward, like, wait, now hang on. You don't want to fight us. We kick your butts with a full army. Why don't you just go home? If anyone's seen that old Austin Powers movie where the buddy's like, just lay down, son, just lay down. And the mook puts the gun down and lies down. That's essentially what's happened here. Congratulations, in fact. If the team isn't going to stop them, the goblins at that point are actually going to step back and retreat from this fight, as they say, not worth the risk. Goodbye. Oh, I took a bunch of party members with them. Now, I say that because, well, as Devaxian jumped in and started acing some crazy good dice rolls on those checks, you all still have the agency of character if you want to fire some shots as these goblins as they are quickly leaving. Well, that's entirely the team's choice. And I don't hear anybody going for a quick pot shot against them, so I'm going to have them flee the scene, and I'm going to end the initiative order. And you can clap yourselves on the back lightly, since you allowed one character to ace those damn rolls.
Clap Dean on the back.
Yep.
I want to say, like, he had his turn, and he was like, I'm going to spend my turn to make them know.
Yep. He started, he's like, I'm gonna do this thing, and the team's like, okay. Now I'm gonna try this thing, and the team's like, oh, if it'll work, we should go with that, because no one said anything against, no one. I mean, I'm sure you would have loved to punch some goblins in the face, but
Yeah,
from the goodness of his heart, the Vaxian saw these poor goblins were just misunderstood and hungry. Or something.
I honestly didn't expect it to work.
I didn't
But
expect you to roll, like, double digits above 15 repeatedly. Like, that's impressive.
I just was determined for an intimidate or something to work. This is the third time I've tried it, so third time the charm.
With that encounter, we're behind the scenes, I did specifically design it so that any degree of a charisma check could assist you in diffusing the situation. What you did with that was entirely up to the team, but they're glad to leave when you've given them the threat of a full army coming down on their heads. So, however, that doesn't mean that there's no outcome at all. One more perception check from everybody as those goblins are leaving. You can't help but overhear them chattering. Well, Ulag, not so much. Probably just thinking stupid, crazy-ass goblinoids. Dean,
Oh wow.
you may want to buy a lotto ticket today. Seeing these rolls drop up, and I'm like, someone needs to get 20 or better. The Vaxian's like, you know what? I still got some luck here. Rolls another 14.
He's like,
Yeah.
bet.
Well, it's as they're leaving, as you hear them chittering in Goblinoid. Once in the blue, you'd hear words taken from other languages. Elvin or something. Maybe, I don't know, giant spider. Spider. As the goblins are leaving.
So we're doing Lord of the Rings.
Oh, goodness. If there's one big giant spider, then yes, I've ripped off Lord of the Rings. But as that is happening, the Vaxian can share that with the rest of the team, mind you, that they've mentioned something about big spider.
Yeah. Anyone else hear them say giant spider?
Nope.
They seemed pretty confident that a giant well, this is my speculation. I think they're sure that a giant spider is going to kill us all somewhere ahead or around, and he starts nervously looking up into the trees.
Anyone who follows his lead of looking through the trees, checking out and looking around, why don't you give me that good old survival check as well? Thank God, that one is pretty much the same. I have managed not to say give me a dex save on anyone today, so I'm doing good. I'll get the reflex save. Just you wait. Oh, Ulag acing it right now with a 16.
Alright, come on, Deacon. Or Dean.
We'll see if the luck...
I added the Bloodhound Mask to my character, but I think I would need to, it's a consumable, so I need to choose to use it just now. So I think I'll save it.
Was it just one use?
Yeah, it's a one-time use.
Oh, okay.
I just added it to my inventory. No one's said much about it, and also I thought if anyone's going to put on a mask and start sniffing the ground, it seems like a vaccine thing to do.
Oh God.
But we're not sniffing the ground, so there we go. There's the balance.
It's finally happened. The dice finally said we're taking a vacation. Well,
Yeah.
Zulog looks around after hearing that. You'd bring one finger up into the air, strung very softly between two trees, to the point you wouldn't even have felt it if you weren't looking closely. You prick a single strand of web, which shimmers and shines. And glancing, you can see the treetops overhead, strung between many of them, these thin strands of gossamer, flowing overhead in the night. As as the cool air drifts in and the smallest bit of moonlight shines down through. That reflection across those strands you can see dancing from treetop to treetop to treetop. If there was a spider's lair, you're already under it.
I don't like spiders. Evil things.
Oh no.
Yeah,
They're
just,
very unpleasant.
8 eye, 8 legs, loads of eyes. Try to eat halflings. I mean, who does that? Tries to eat halflings. A lot of them are jolly little fellows.
I mean, they're driven on instinct. They just want to eat. Not like, ooh, halfling. That's a delectable.
I don't know. I've heard stories about some spiders. And then there's the whole, dark elf spider worship thing. Ugh. Triders. I'm going to duck. The backs encroaches a lot, but well, we should probably when we get back tell the people in the caravan to keep low.
Well, even though you're tied for highest, I'm going to lean on Deacon since Devaxium was rolling fire and doesn't like spiders. Deacon might have been looking around a brief moment after being warned by the other party members. And you'd swear... Oh god, Addison's like, no, I don't like spiders, Daddy. You would swear, as you look up above your head for a brief moment, you see a very large shadow. Maybe smaller ones as well, in a cluster, drifting across your vision, blocking that moonlight for but a brief moment.
Deacon will, after having seen that, look to the party and say, yeah, I'm fairly certain we are in a lair, and I've just seen the big one, and its children.
We probably can't burn the forest down, can we? That would be ill-advised while we're in it.
It's a bit of an overreaction.
And it would draw attention if there's anything else much worse nearby.
Yeah.
Now,
The vaccine is just hefting his hatchet in his hand.
Now, I am going to say the off-screen group over this away, the caravan, most assuredly has torches and fires ablazing, making themselves quite visible in this dark of night. And those same gossamer threads, thin as they are, invisible to the naked eye without really looking, certainly cover the entirety of the woods over their head as far as your eyes can perceive. And the question is, what to do about that?
What direction did I see the spiders going? Were they going back towards the caravan?
Oh, that's a good question. Give me a perception check.
No, Alan's just deciding if they are or not. I guarantee it.
With a 23, as Deacon's watching carefully, looking towards the caravan, certainly you might see a shadow or two drift. Because, 23, gosh. Those artificial eyes turn on telescopic mode. Am I allowed to say that? Because, wow, damn. That's some wicked vision. Your character is certain they see shadows drifting above. But as you look over your own head, once in the blue, you see them skittering, moving above yourself as well. More seem to be around the caravan, keeping somewhat of a distance, not getting too close, in fact, on the opposite sides, partially having them surrounded, but not densely so, keeping their distance as if watching. But you're certain overhead, you can hear, see, almost sense the claws, skittering over treetops, bending branches, cracking them overhead.
Oh, great.
So if I was to actually use a drawing to make life a little easier, if your grouping right now is the caravan, the spiders would essentially be... Why is it... What did I use the wrong setting? Trying to put a tile down. It's like, would you like to install a tile here? That's what you wanted to do, right, dum-dum? Now the whole thing's broken. What you gonna do now? Oh, wow, it actually broke. I'm gonna have to reload in a second to get that to go away. If you were the caravan, they'd be filling these areas, you know, always keeping a distance. But if we're talking the party, you're pretty sure, probably more like this. So many overhead, seemingly not caring how close they draw to the team. And I'm just reloading because I accidentally got a window stuck open.
Do
Do you have an idea about how many are there? Say that and I missed it?
Swarms of them.
Lord. We can't attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. I looked at that picture John just sent about with the Mr. Bean reference. I like it.
Yeah. You like paused like right after I tagged you in, and I thought you had saw it then.
Nope. My game was crashing out at that exact moment when you tagged me. I got it back and going now. I'm nice and reloaded. But I looked over and I'm laughing at that. There has been a couple times I have changed things as the players discovered something because I literally lean back and whisper to myself, that's so friggin' cool, I have to, you know? It happens. That's half the fun of D&D is it's a combined story. But the spider's
absolutely.
catching him over his head. No. That evil is all me.
No. It was the I'm heading back towards the caravan.
Oh.
That definitely.
I'd love to say they were heading back towards them, but the truth of the matter here is you've just walked straight into the middle of a beehive, except it's giant spiders. Maybe giant. I mean, it's not like you're about to fight a Lang spider or anything. That thing's like level 13. But the level 11 Goliath spider, that should be, that maybe. And the team's like, Alan, we don't know the monsters in Pathfinder like we do Dungeons and Dragons. Don't try and spook us.
I don't know. It just seems fake.
What, the
Could be
Goliath
wrong,
spider?
But it seems fake. The Goliath spider and the that's disappeared. I forget what we were talking about again.
Good old Goliath spider. It dwells in the deepest jungles.
Lightning spider. That's what the for.
In fact, Evaxian, I'm going to give them knowledge on one in case they ever bump into one someday. Because your character might even be muttering, my god, this could be a Goliath spider. We're in the middle of a forest that's close enough to a jungle. They build webs as big as temples, and the webs we're in is so big, it's so crazy, it's going to be so bad, it's like a hippopotamus.
Well, that's horrifying.
His character probably isn't tripping out like that, but...
No, he's afraid of spiders, remember?
Yep. Well, player agency. He's allowed to trip out like that. I didn't realize for the Goliath Spire they had it eating a gosh darned griffin. That's brutal. Actually, no, I'm going to say for Pathfinder, that's metal. There's actually a new cartoon out. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But the two characters are a guy who's been framed and a crazy ass shape changer who's usually a girl with red hair and fanged teeth, and she's the most epic, awesome, vicious thing I've seen in a while. What is it? Nimona. There we go. At one point, she causes a crazy, huge explosion and goes, metal. And I just lost my shit. I gotta actually watch it, though. I've only seen the clips. Addison's like, me too, daddy, me too. But, so you're all presently stuck under a very broad spider web that looms overhead. A number of them chittering and moving above you, but you also have one singular advantage, the instantaneous stoppage of time. To indicate this, I have the time actually stopped in game. But you can all take a moment to plan what you want your characters to do. Do you think you can stealth your way through this? Do you want to do some attacking? As of right now, they're not coming at you. But night has already started to settle in.
Is stealth even a possibility with this caravan?
I think it would probably more be stealth to get towards the caravan to warn them. I would imagine. So we could try and get there and warn them.
Well, here's one thing of note. For those of you with nature that would like to attempt to recall knowledge, now is a perfect opportunity to do so. Mind you, that's a general knowledge skill. Anybody can do it untrained. But anyone who wants to try a nature knowledge recall, go ahead and give me a quick roll on that one. With the information discovered through those perception checks that's been shared with the rest of the team.
Could I roll my esoteric lore for a +5 instead of a +4?
Let me see, because this is truly something to do with nature and creatures in nature.
The
I think it does. I just have to read up on it because that's...
The diverse lore feat I took.
Yeah, that'll totally fit. You can roll that one too.
Lets me basically sub and the esoteric one for any recall knowledge.
Makes it easy and straightforward. Once in the blue, you might find the one thing that's so specific to a knowledge group that they say that, but I wanted to make sure quite the opposite. Yours specifically states that you get it even on the basic, so you don't even need the fancy swap outs. So
I figured out how to account for the -2 circumstance bonus, so it's just whatever number we see is be right.
Oh, awesome. And anyone else is more than welcome to recall knowledge on a nature check as well.
Yeah.
The vaccine's presently sitting at an 815. Anybody else wants to give a shot?
I have a free feat called Dubious Knowledge. But I think I have to be trained in the skill in order to use it. It's prerequisites. Trained in a skill of the recall, with the recall knowledge action. You're a treasure trove of information, but not all of it comes from reputable sources.
Oh, yeah.
When you fail, but not critically fail, a recall knowledge check using any skill, you learn a bit of true knowledge and a bit of erroneous knowledge.
I have the same thing, yeah.
Oh, is it the same one?
Yep. We've both got dubious knowledge. I've got the diverse lore on top of that.
Gotcha.
Because I think that did trigger once.
It's the exact same thing.
But
yeah, triggered for the spellbook in the Bindarius Necropolis.
Okay.
Which kind of made sense too. You read it over and it's like this has to be evil, and you get to the guy at the end. Well, yes, but actually no. So dubious knowledge worked really well at that point, and I had a giggle for it. But you don't have to be trained. It's just any recall knowledge, if I'm reading it rightly. So if you want to go ahead and give it a shot, you might get a bad info and good info for dubious knowledge. But if you want to roll for nature as well.
I have a +0 to nature, so that stays the same, right?
Yep.
Hey, I still rolled better than you did.
Oh yeah.
Sheer luck.
The vaccine giving a rub of his jaws, he's pointing, thinking, most things in nature don't like fire. Maybe that's why the spiders... And Nestri would nod her head, say, yes, definitely. Without a doubt. Definitely, nodding her head. And these spiders seem to be apprehensive of approaching the fire that's held by the caravan, which is why they're avoiding them. You all, however, traveling under the cover of dark with just the dim light echoing out from that caravan, don't seem to have such good fortune. Now, you can certainly light a torch up if you'd like. And I know some of you might be saying, well, not all of us even have low light or dark vision, Dungeon Master, but like I said, I gave the dim light from the caravans nearby. Just enough to see where you're going out to a degree. And to make that last one, which could have been a fight, a little easier. But it seems the spiders do not like fire.
Hey guys, if I cast light on one of these spider heads, would that count as a string light?
I think so.
Stop stringing us along, Dean.
The question is, like, would the light just affect the singular strand or the entire web?
Any object with a total size of 1 bulk or less, which does about a 20-foot radius, light as we know. So I'd say a 20-foot long line would light up. Now, you'd be thinking, oh, it's 20 foot across the entire line. No. Just the line is 20 foot, and that gives you that 20 foot of light from one point on it. But an entire string of 20 feet length will turn bright. That's about the best way I can figure for 1 bulk or less of size.
Okay, so they're scared to fire. That's why they're probably staying back from the caravan. So we could tell the caravan not to let any of the fires die down tonight, but we're still here and they're there. So the question is, do we try and sneak through in the dark, or do we try and light our own torches so they stay away from us and go back to warn them? At least that's my read on the situation. Does anyone else have like a different idea of what path to take?
I think it's a good idea to keep the torches and the fires lit, but I think this is going to be a recurring problem, so I'm wondering if we shouldn't try to hunt them. Or at least...
like, take a few out.
Yeah. And just, like, thin the herd, maybe? I don't know. I feel like it's a band-aid solution, just leaving the lights on for tonight. I think it's gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
And we only have so many torches.
Yeah. That's the only thought I really have, and I don't even know what the solution is. In my brain, I'm just like, maybe if we can like find their mom, it'll be like a movie, and they'll all just die when we kill mom. But I know that probably won't actually happen.
Well, I had the feeling like as long as the caravan's in the forest, we could like chop down trees to make big bonfires for the caravan.
Yeah.
But you're right, as like a temporary solution, they might get brave enough to attack.
Yeah. Well, what we could do is we could try it for a night or two, a couple nights, and if things start to escalate, like we'll be aware of the situation. That was for Dean. And if things start to escalate, then maybe we can think about hunting them. See how far we get with the fires and the torches and the bonfires. So
Yeah.
that's literally the only thing I can think of. Like other than hunting them down and killing them off like swarm by swarm. We should be able to handle a swarm of creatures, right? Because it's like, at least in D&D, it's counted as one creature. I don't know what it's like in Pathfinder. I just feel like we should be proactive,
Yeah.
not passive.
So I guess for like where we are just now, you want to start a fight like right here?
No, we can just go back to the caravan for tonight, but like just kind of monitor the situation and try to stay on top of it.
Yeah. So you want to stealth back, or try just like light up some torches and let march back? Because we're still a fair distance away. I think that's what Alan's trying to get us to plan, is like, how do we get out of like our current location?
That's very true. Could try to be stealthy. I mean, I'm stealthy. I know not everybody is, but you could try to be sneaky, and if we run into trouble, we fight them?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with that. I'm decently stealthy. So I would be okay with trying one as well. Although I know our frontliners probably have some armor penalties to stealth.
Yeah. Just have to go to the bathroom. I'll be back, you guys.
Actually, did we want to take a quick
That's really
15
cute.
minute? That way we can give a quick plan.
Sure.
I'm good
Yeah.
with 15.
All right, we'll take our usual break, cut the midway here, as you all plan exactly what you want to do since you've got spiders overhead. I'll go ahead and pause the recording here and put myself on mute, and we'll take a quick 15 minutes. And as you are all now chilling out, here in the middle of this dark woods, as night begins to creep in on you, as you know, there's a swarm of spiders just inches over your head. As an attack could very well loom out at any second, the team is trying to decide on what to do next. So what's the game plan? As the caravan, some hundreds of feet behind you, seems somewhat protected with all the fires and torches, while the group of you stand in the dim light that it sheds.
We feel like this is a fight that we could handle, or do we feel like we should run away? Like, what is the gut reaction to this?
It just depends on how many of the swarm comes for us.
I mean, in character, that's the question. Out of character, I don't like giving you challenges you can't win.
Yeah.
In that case, I just want to fight them, but finder's hard, so it's easy to just say it's attack. But I think it's just attack or sneak away. I'm not sure there's a third option.
Well, when it comes to like attack or sneak away, I usually say, well, we could try sneaking because, you know, if we fail, get the fight anyway.
Then
but-
attack if we have to.
Yes, I mean, I'm not married to any particular course of action. So
Why don't we just try sneaking back to the caravan then, and if we fail, then we'll fight. The dice decide.
I'm happy with that.
So then, stealthing it's going to be, which means all characters who are going to want to try and sneak their way under the cover of shade beneath these trees need to give me stealth rolls.
Watch, this will be the one that I fuck up.
It's that moment the team's looking up, seeing they're surrounded by webbings. As they slowly start to walk backwards out of this forest. Cling, clang, rattle, bing, bang. Log makes
Strong
some noise all day.
start. Strong start.
Now, I should
Oh,
say,
yeah,
as you're
no, I
making
didn't do
these
much
rolls,
better.
however, I'm giving you all a hero point for actually finishing the last combat peacefully. Admittedly, it was 3 stellar rolls by 1 player, but still, you all get a hero point for that as you're making these rolls.
Okay. I'll
I'm not
I'll
willing
take
to burn.
mine.
I'm not willing to burn mine because I get a -1. So
Whoa.
Damn.
That's
whew.
The dice just leaning in on Dean like, oh, you thought we were being nice. No, we tricked you. We got you into the middle of the Dungeon Master's trap, and now you're dead. But Ulog is like, I still did worse on my stealth check. So you know, as the group of you are slowly making your way out of there as quietly, as efficiently as you can, as Devaxian starts to trip over one stray branch, arms flailing through the air, doing everything he can to hold every degree of stealth. You hear clanging, a banging, a rattle, bing, bang. Someone makes their noise all day. I'm going with my quote. I said it earlier, so Ulog smashing through
I love that song. I
Oh.
love doing Mortimer with them at circle time.
Isn't it the best? I got a soft spot for all of those old stories of his, and you know the mud puddle too. Throw soap at it.
My coworker does that one just like out loud. She hasn't memorized. Well, I have more memorized as well, but it's less to remember.
It's the good stuff. You can't beat the old classic good stuff. Well, I do have a surprise for Ulog as the team's making their way out. As you start to sneak back slowly, bushes rattle off towards the side, and gossamer threads floating from the air. As you're sure things are jumping down at you suddenly, but more importantly is what jumps from beside you. The ground ripping upward as a very large spider. Giant, in fact, compared to the standard spider. Jumps from a trapdoor beneath the ground, lurching itself towards you, because we've all seen a trapdoor spider. You know what those are. But a giant one! Oh, goodness me. And as this initiative starting, as numerous other spiders suddenly jump down, as if on call from this one's maneuver. The giant trapdoor spider has a wonderful ability referred to as the trapdoor lunge, where initiative has not yet been rolled, but you're all about to. Essentially, a trick before initiative. Since you came within 25 foot of its lair, it uses its stride or climb before it rolls the initiative, immediately launching itself forward at the poor player who did worst on stealth. I mean, that's probably not going to matter to John much. He's popping his knuckles like, yeah, no, I'm ready. Come on, Alan, I'm ready. As you all need to roll initiative against the merry band of beasts that suddenly float their way down from on high as mixtures of spiders suddenly swarm the team. Some small, one incredibly large, going after the next player who rolled the smallest.
I used my hero point, by the way, and took the 21 instead, for what it's worth.
Oh, is that initiative?
I don't know if you noticed. No. For stealth, I initially rolled like a 10 or something like that, but I used the hero point that you just gave us to re-roll it, and I got a 21.
Yes, you did have that low one. However, thanks to the tanks, by our tanks, they've been ousted. And the trapdoor spider has lunged at Ulog, while something considerably larger sledgehammers on the ground in front of him, as you find yourself surrounded. Ooh, this is a bit more cumbersome on some of the rolls if not set the right way.
That's a lot of dice.
And because I rolled a 1, Sadness Chan gets me with tell the poor monster you are sorry for wasting its time. Had a new player roll that in a different game recently, and they said, what the hell is this? I'm like, well, oh, you rolled a 20, you got a Sadness Chan. They were like, yes. And then they started laughing. They're like, what the hell is this? Oh, Sadness Chan, the silliest thing I think I've seen in a game in a while. But Jameson, you are up first as Deacon has first bat against what appears to be an entire swarm of spiders that rushed down from the tree towards your character with all due haste.
Well, seeing as the literal swarm is probably going to cause some issues, I think he's going to start off strong by poking at those things.
Oh, goodness. Well, this deadly mass of spiders before you, as you give a swing with a 15, you breach their defenses, coming down hard against them. Now you go ahead and roll up damage as you stab at them with your fighter's fork.
I stab at thee!
And for 5 points of piercing damage, you see that fork dive into them, and they seem to be resistant as you deal 0 damage overall to this creature with your first hit.
God
What type of piercing damage?
damn it!
Do not use piercing, guys.
They absorb at least, well, they resist at least 5 points of piercing damage, being a swarm enemy.
Maybe, probably need to try another damage type.
It is a goddamn good thing I have different types of weapons now.
Now,
Alright.
before you start doing those rolls, you're all more than welcome to roll a nature-based knowledge check. A recall knowledge on the fly. And this does not count towards that esoteric lore super duper damage booth buster. Ulag
Oh
gets
no,
a 10.
it wouldn't trigger the exploit vulnerability.
Yep,
Uh,
exactly.
but can I still use my esoteric lore because it's
Oh, yeah.
gives me the higher.
We know it's the random,
Random bullshit.
Yep,
Go.
it's the lovely feature.
Oh no!
Now, Deacon, ironically, is acing this for the team, which makes sense. They just brought down, as you see, the swarm responds in kind with a hive mind twisting and churning around your attack, and you figure it's probably going to be fairly resistant to any piercing or slashing based effects, but in your experience, a big old club bludgeoning damage was usually the way to deal with a swarm, but even then, most physical damage they are resistant to. But if you can
Sorry, I
tag
think I
some...
heard
Oh, sorry?
the door.
Oh, yeah, you go right ahead.
Did you hear the door? Or did you hear Fergus drop his bone? Because he just dropped a bone very obnoxiously.
He may already
Not
be gone.
50% done.
The other flip of that I will give on the opposite side is that you do know swarms generally don't take well to splash damage and area damage. And that's sort of the general thing with swarms, you know. You once saw someone with a fireball or something of the sort wipe an entire group of them out quite handily, but just beating them with a sword, gonna be tricky. So I give you that, as you still have got a pair of actions left.
So, you said, bludgeoning damage might be able to do the trick, though?
It would be the most effective, but you do know most physical damages they have a degree of resistance against.
That's not good for me.
But bludgeoning's gonna be probably the best path, you know. Beating a pile of rats with a club or a spider swarm with a club is easier than with a rapier.
You could always just try moving on to like a bigger target.
Yeah, that's a good point, because, I can't do anything with this. So, I think I'm just... Although I don't know if they have an attack of opportunity, but...
I mean, if you move to the one beside Nestry, you could make it flat-footings.
This is true. Alright, yeah, I'll... And how would I do that? Just, go behind it, like, flanking type of deal?
Yeah.
I think it's just within 5 feet of the... If two of you are within 5 foot of the enemy, I think. Does it actually have to flank for this one?
I thought so.
Let me double check.
If I wanted to disengage, do I use all 3 of my actions to do that, or just one?
No, if you would
There's-
take a 5-foot step action,
Hmm?
which doesn't trigger reactions, but like if it's got like a 10-foot range, you would need to take like 2 steps actions.
So if I wanted to use range, I could just step away.
Yeah.
You're saying, okay, cool. That's good to know. Without getting an attack of opportunity, right?
So long as it doesn't have the ability to take them.
Okay. I'm still a bit fuzzy about how attack
Well-
of opportunities work here, but
Well, the stride action like would trigger an attack of opportunity. The step action wouldn't.
okay.
But
I
you,
understand.
the stride gives you your full movement speed. Step gives you 5 feet.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, I'm just gonna walk over to a couple spaces, so I'm still... Although, wait, if I were to walk over to the space, like...
Oh, and I did check, it is flanking. You have to be on either sides. So it's like
Yeah.
my old rules for 5th edition.
Alright, so I'm just gonna move and try and get a flanking maneuver on that spider, and hopefully the swarm doesn't have attacks of opportunity.
You make your way over without any trouble, as they do not appear to. And as of now, that would give them a -2 circumstance to the spider in front of you, if you wanted to give another swing with your last action. And because that's your second swing of the turn with your fighter's fork, that does reduce it by 5. Is it 4, I think, for the fighter's? No, it's 5. I had to double check. Some weapons are a little cheaper to use. 11 against the spider. As it dodges your attack, the fork going a little high.
Yep, my mistake, sorry. And with that, it will be my turn.
Alrighty, and no worries. It's a lot of the little things inside a Pathfinder. I try to keep an eye out for them myself as best as I can as well, but oh my goodness, there's so many things. Now, this spider, however, does not have that advantageous ability that lets it dive down into combat, like the other ones do prior to the initiative run. So, one of its actions has been to use the stride action to come down to where Devaxian is, which is a blessing for your character. It means it only has 2 of its actions remaining. That's only fair, right? And this creature lands down before you. And let me just double check how that one works. I think I misread its ability. As this monstrous spider lies down before you, it reaches out and slides into your character's space. Now, in order to make that actually work, I'm going to give you a 1-foot height jump so you're always on top of them for right now.
Okay.
Skittering about as it does. And as it does, I am going to need a reflex savings throw from your character. Your character have any advantages against poison?
No.
Alright, well, the spider tags you for 1d6 bleed damage. I'm not sure if the system did that one correctly.
I can see it. It's like a status effect on the corner of my page.
Perfect. But as the swarm attacks you, it gets a freebie hit for some bleed damage on you. I really like how well Pathfinder integrates all this stuff, but it is loss of blood. It has no effect on non-living creatures or living creatures that don't need blood to go, but you are now stuck with the persistent damage of bleed damage.
That triggers. That triggers at the start of my turns.
Oh, wait a second. I have things I can do.
Ooh.
Oh?
Thank God. Poor Dean.
Sorry. So he gains resistance to all damage against the triggering damage type equal to 2 + 2, so 4.
For
and then I get to
retributive
make...
strike. Let me just pull that one up, because this isn't your standard. This is, since you're in the space, this happens. Let me just look at the wording for your ability.
I guess I haven't taken the damage yet.
An enemy damages your ally. So I don't know if he hasn't done damage. I suppose that won't work.
Yeah, the damage will start on my turn, I think. So I haven't been dealt damage yet, but I think he's about to attack. So
Probably.
the
I
chances
tried.
are it'll be you'll be using this in a hot second.
Well, you can say an attempt was made at the very least.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
And I'm just double checking on when it triggers for the bleed damage, because I figured that would be right off. That would happen on every turn, but it's probably going to be on the start of your character's turn, because it's persistent damage.
Yeah, I was just reading about this in the core rulebook because I can't remember exactly where it was, but I'm pretty sure it happens on your turn because you get a chance that you get the flat check to try and get rid of it after it damages you.
No,
Oh, instead of taking persistent damage immediately, you take it at the end of each of your turns as long as you have the condition. Rolling any damage dice in you each time. I can fling you a link if you want to the archive in the Nephis page.
Oh yeah, because bleed's a little bit of weird. Then it ends automatically if you're healed to full hit points. I'm just looking for the simple answer of when does it hit? At the end of your turns, and then it's a DC flat check to get over it. That's all I've been looking for the persistent damage. Whew, that took me a little too long to find. I found everything else on everything else. But you take that at the end of your turn. So the question is, will that trigger John's reaction at the end of the vaccine's turn? Because the damage
it's a condition effect doing damage, not the creature doing damage to it.
Perfect. You already looked that one up?
No, just common sense. Wouldn't it be?
Well, not necessarily. It says the bleed damage, and the damage is being done by the creature from an effect, so you never know. Persistent damage trigger. What's the name of that ability you were using? Retributive Strike.
Retributive Strike.
I think I've probably.
I don't
I
feel
think
like
because
They do
the
say
condition damages me.
Since the condition is a poison, the poison's dealing the damage. It's not through the creature.
Yep.
All right. See, these are those moments where it's like, hang on, I'm going to learn a rule here and get it so we have it down packed.
Yeah.
At the same time, too, I'm sort of leaning like, maybe I can still get it so John can use that ability. But unfortunately, no Retributive Strike. As the creature jumps into your space, being able to support it with you.
Dude, 6 feet. COVID is a thing, guys.
Yeah, and it's already spread it over. I mean, technically, you both have a disease anyway, so that should be them going 6 feet, you know?
Yeah. Haha, you bet me. Guess who's infected?
Well, that's gonna be it for their run. As we move down now to the small spider between Deacon and Nestry, who's going to attack as the Dungeon Master grabs a D2. He flips a coin. Nestry, turning quick, as this one did have the Spring Up Upon Prey ability. It's got its full range of capacity. Fangs coming down against your character. Quick.
Sorry, a little out of my reach.
An AC of 19. I roll a crit fail, so that's going to be a miss. But that isn't the only time. Fang's continuing to lash forward at... I really rolled 2 1s in a row.
I know the feeling.
Well, the third one I roll pretty good, but that's a third attack, so you know those aren't that good. And against an AC of 19, as this creature lashes out, Nestri, who did great thanks to the hero point on stealth, must have bent the game rule in her favor, because she dodges all 3 of those attacks smoothly, as we roll over next to Devaxian's turn.
So am I like pinned or grappled or something?
This creature acts like a swarm because the Dungeon Master may have goofed on giving it
Right.
the wrong picture of a single image. So you can freely move out of the same space that sits in. It's a swarm, so it can share the space of another creature, right?
Right. Okay. And
But you've never seen ones quite so vicious. You're always welcome to do your checks for lore and all that.
yeah, does the persistent bleed, will that stack if it enters my space again?
I believe it does.
Or does it go away if he leaves it?
Nope, they do not stack with each other.
Okay. Alright.
If you have different types, mind you, they will, but persistent bleed damage.
Yep.
I don't like that they made one singular type of damage a persistent damage while all other damages are normal. They should have just said, this is persistent damage instead in this attack description. That would have been a little simpler. But ours is not to wonder why. You also get a flat DC 15 check at the end of your turn for it.
Yep. Because that's going to be, if it's a swarm, I guess it'll behave similarly to the other swarm. And then it'll be... Okay, I think... feet. I'm going to try and straight away from this thing to here. Hopefully none of them have any combat reflexes or reactions.
Looks at you angrily.
I'll then do a exploit vulnerability on the trapdoor spider.
And it's usually a nature check to recall knowledge on their ability for this one.
Yep. Well, because it's my exploit vulnerability. This is the full esoteric lore bonus. Probably a failure.
Yep, that is a fail. Not a crit fail, just a regular fail.
So I trigger a personal antithesis, which is unique to the creature.
Just like you step on the trapdoor, keeping it pinned.
You notice there's no oddly moss-covered rocks in the trapdoor, and as you pick one up, the spider looks somewhat afraid.
I hold out a key because it's a trapdoor.
Oh gosh.
I will open your door. So I'll then make a strike against its flat-footed AC.
21 is a hit as you breach through their defenses.
Alright, so...
Ooh, very nice.
I forget what my personal antithesis damage is again. The attack causes the it gains a weakness against my weapon strikes equal to 2 plus half my level, so it'll take an extra 3 damage.
Alright, so let's set that down. As it's looking badly injured from the one shot. Screeching back as it turns and looks towards you, keeping eyes now on your character.
Quickly, Ulag, kill it! Kill it now! And that'll be all my actions.
Alright, and as your turn comes to an end, give me a save. Straight up.
For the flat check, yep.
For the DC 15 to see if you get over that. As you just took 6 points of damage. Oh, wow. Well, that's definitely going to be a fail. And on top of that, as the wound begins to bile and fester, you were exposed to spider venom. So, I'm going to need you to give me a fortitude save against the true spider venom that was struck on you last turn. And it's a poison effect.
I don't feel like Davaxian is long for this world.
No, this is just one spider to attack him. Wait till I jump the rest of yes.
No, I just feel like he's going to get poisoned and die.
But you see these dice rolls he's making, he just shrugged it off. He's like, that ain't nothing. Just looks at the wound in his arm, gives it a firm squeeze. You see a drop of green just fly out of it. He goes, there we go, see, I'm good.
Yeah, but the ghoul one too, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's not just him, though. Dude, you got some trouble there.
Yeah, but he's a little worse than me.
No, both of you are on par. You both... well, I suppose you got one success on your save. But that's...
Yeah, I just need another roll like that for my next disease save.
Yeah.
Well...
I might be able to help with that.
I love it when Dan says stuff like that.
Oh, goodness.
just quietly working away. He's like, I found it. 3 pages into Google, I found it.
Well, of course, one of the spiders is going to quickly move to a flanking position to attack Ulag from behind. Jumping in order to give that -2 AC boost to you as they come upon you with their fangs. Even though they had the ability to spring in, they don't have a great position thanks to your movement, so they have to move to catch up with extra. My god, I rolled another one on the attack rolls. This is ridiculous. 7 chance even like you meant to do that. That's 3 ones in a row. Well, let's try attack number 2. That's almost as bad. Wow, something's good. I got you all with a good jump here, and my enemies are just like, no, we're not rolling, boss. And I'm like, I'll get back to you, Chew Spider. I don't need to roll for you. Nestry's turn next, however.
Alright, so you guys refresh my memory. So you have to attack. Like, I couldn't attack and then take a step back and then attack again, could I? You have to attack together? Is that right?
No, you can do that.
Yeah, attack
Could do
takes
that?
one of your 3 actions
Yeah.
to strike, and then you'd step back with another action, and then you use your 3rd action to strike a second time. Depending on...
Okay.
So long as the attacks you're using only cost 1 action, mind you.
Yes. Yeah, that was the plan. Okay, so I will then try Gouging Claw
Oof.
on the dragon. Sorry, the dragon. Please no. The spider in front of me.
I was like, that's next fight though.
So I'll cast that. It's a cantrip, so it should be right. Can I do? I'd prefer to do slashing. I don't know if it'll let me. Okay. Still getting used to the rolls here, how things roll.
16 is a hit with reduction to the hunting spider's armor class for flanking. So that first swing's a connect.
So it's just a D4 though, I think.
1d6
no, you do
plus your
one-
spell casting modifier. A crit gives you double damage plus a
right,
d4.
right.
So you get d6 and spell casting modifier. I don't know what that is off the top of my head because it doesn't list it in the spell description on this one, but If I keep blabbing, eventually I'll find it on your character sheet before I get there.
+6? Seem right?
Spellcasting
That hits.
+6. Very nice. So that's 9 points of damage against the spider. As the hunting spider appears to have become the hunted, badly injured from one hit as it almost jumps, quickly whipping its head back towards Nestri, who still has her 2 actions remaining.
Okay, I'm gonna-
I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but that spell takes 2 actions.
Oh, it
Oh, yep.
does?
Yeah.
Cast time 2.
Cast. Yep.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see that. Okay, but I can still use it, right? It just
yeah.
means that I can
Yeah.
attack a second time? Right.
You have one ability, one action left at this point.
Right. Would I be allowed to just take a strike at it with my bow staff, like without,
Oh yeah.
like melee version of the staff?
Yeah, just giving it a swing to crack it on the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that would be a -5 or a -10.
Yep, it counts as an attack, so it's at a -5 because this is your second strike. Wait, a melee spell attack roll. Yeah, it's an attack roll, so I'm assuming yes. 1 second here.
Yeah.
Because it's a multiple attack penalty, not a melee, I think.
Yeah. The attack penalty applies to anything that's
Yep.
considered a strike.
And that's an attack action. Second time you use an attack action to your turn, so that's an attack action because you're making an attack roll. So it does count. I just had to get the wordings because I figured there's no way they're not gonna.
But at least it's only a minus. At least it's only a -5 opposed to a -10.
Yeah. Some spells might say this counts as 2. Some things say that.
Yep. This one only counts as 1. And they do that often for the ones that cost 2 because, you know. But unfortunately, that one is a miss.
Yeah, I figured.
Leaving it badly injured and quite angry at you. And that's going to be it for Nestri's turn then, as we roll over next to Ulag. One thing I like about Pathfinder, once a player's out of actions, I don't really say anything else, because, you know, they usually don't have anything else.
Alright, so let's just
Spiders to the north
whack it
of
with
me.
the sword.
Spiders to the south. Stuck in the middle with... Okay. 23 is a hit against the trapdoor spider. As you work towards shutting its trap, sledgehammering for 8 points of damage total.
Yeah.
Leaving
I don't
near
know if
death.
it has resistance, but 7 slashing, 1 fire.
Oh, no resistances. Nothing special that triggers for those. It hops over that second shot, looking somewhat startled and now concerned, eyes darting between Ulag and Devaxian. Same with that third shot, ducking low to dodge. As Ulag makes 3 quick swings, causing the giant trap spider to take a moment to look between the 2 targets, but sticking to its original choice. And attacking Devaxian, as it attempts to strike you with its fangs, and against an armor class of 18, those do indeed hit. And as they do, give me a fort save.
I'm going to use my Amulet Abeyance to give myself resistance to the incoming damage.
So that's half 3 points total.
And then I use my
It
retributive strike.
would be 4 points of resistance because it's 2 plus my level.
And then I use my retributive strike, giving you a further 4 resistance and making a melee attack.
All right, so we'll go ahead and heal back 3 points because he won't take any damage at that point.
But yeah, fort save.
And I
was-
missed.
Unfortunately, 15 is a miss. And a 14 on your fort save is a fail as you succumb to the giant trapdoor spider's venom. You are now flat-footed for 1 round as you are under the first stage of poison on this one. I don't think they've got one for it, so I'm going to have to actually put these in myself. There we go. Toss flat-footed on. I like how it actually applies these. It makes it so much more fun.
Yep.
And you take
Dean says, "Yep, I'm having so much fun right now."
a grand total of 1 point of poison damage. I mean, he's tanking everything thus far, sitting at 21 out of 28 health and shrugging things off as we go. So, you know.
I'm just thinking.
All these spiders are venomous.
I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's had worse luck than Dean in this
With-
campaign so far.
No, Dean in the last campaign may have.
Oh, at least on the... Oh my goodness, did I actually... Did it not give the penalty? It didn't give the penalty?
My AC's sitting at 16.
Let me just give another roll here to see if it's not calculating the penalty in. It didn't give the -10. Unless there's a bonus. Oh, I see. Yeah, it did. So, what's your AC at?
16.
With a 16 AC. Wow, it did update it correctly. You end up getting hit by a 3rd bite from those fangs. This one considerably more damaging than the last. We've already... Does your resistance count for each strike against you, or just that one initial tagging strike?
Just the one.
Same for Ulog's?
I'm just going to find
Mine says
triggering damage.
Yeah, triggering
Alright.
damage.
11 points, as Jillian may very well have jinxed you, because that was the 3rd action that I hit you with.
So sorry.
And that gets a -10, so like I aced that roll. Admittedly, my first few stunk, so. As we're rolling over to the next one, we've got a spider jumping phoenix as it attempts to bite your character as well. And we'll see how well it goes for luck. As a 15 armor class means they sink their teeth into your character as well for a whopping 3 points of damage. And I'm
So
going to need
just-
it. Yeah?
Sorry, just so we're clear, you said spider jumping phoenix. I know you meant to attack him, but all I can see is like a phoenix jumping over spiders.
Or a spider jumping over phoenixes now, because it's a spider jumping phoenix. He can go in either direction, depending on how those adjectives and nouns are set up. But Phoenix also
Sorry.
needs to roll me a fort save as he gets bitten by this spider. He passes on the first one. But the second set of fangs as well land for a further 8 points of damage and another fort savings throw. Which he aces a second time, so even though you're getting chewed on and they're trying to poison you, because that's what spiders do after all, you seem to bunk that no problem. And what we're now left with is a swarm of spiders rushing their way forward. And they're gonna tackle themselves on top of Deacon, who I'm gonna give a +1 to height on because that way the swarm's behind you. The swarm able to enter your space. You need to give me a reflex save as you do, as their little swarming bites attack like mad, dealing a whopping 3 points of piercing damage to your character. And you are struck by the spider swarm venom. Because you are stuck with that, you receive poison and enfeeblement as well from the first stage of this venom.
I don't get to roll any kind of save against this poison.
Oh, that was your, oh, sorry, yes. You get a fortitude save for the poison. The reflex save was to see if you don't get hit by it.
And just to confirm, this is a poison.
Yep, it
and
is a
Portuguese.
poison. Sorry, for this one, the piercing bite that they did, that was the save that you got for that. You ace the poison save, so you're fine. You only take the 3 points of damage from the bite, which with a click I just applied to you. Let you shrug that poison off. As we roll over now to Phoenix's turn, because a few of those spiders get to go in quick succession.
Do I take negatives for casting spells while in melee combat?
Don't
It would.
believe.
I think the only thing that does is trigger attack of opportunities if it has any.
I think they might take a penalty when fired in close range for ranged weapons, but only like longbows. And you need a melee weapon to flank. There's no direct negatives, but an attack of opportunities and longbows. But that's the only thing. Spell should happen to add no trouble. Scorching Blast. Who's gonna get struck in the face by this one? Down to the one.
The one in front of me first.
All right. So as you ignite the night sky and shoot a jet of fire at the enemy, a 17 is a hit. As you break through their armor class, they screech out in pain. So feel free to roll damage on that first hit. As it takes 11 points of fire damage, singeing over its form and leaving it very badly injured, and leaving Phoenix still with 2 actions available. As you seriously tag some high damage on that roll.
Let's throw one at the swarm.
Ooh. Alright. You go ahead and let that one fly. With an 11, unfortunately, that does miss the swarm.
Nah, I'll hero point that.
Ooh. Alright. Give a hero point, see if you can get high enough to break their AC. "13, unfortunately, still a miss against the swarm.
That's it for me.
Alright. And next up, we've got Deacon as we start the second round of this vicious combat, standing in a swarm of spiders who continually attack you in a rush.
Yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun at all. Alright, seeing as they're resistant to my lovely, lovely fighter's fork, I think I'm going to sheath that and draw my mace. So that's 2 actions right there, and then use my final action to attack it.
Alright.
You could drop the fork for free if you wanted to keep, like, save an extra action.
As much as I'd like to, I don't put it past spiders stealing my stuff.
Or worse, dropping it in a pile of swarming spiders, then you gotta pick it up from the pile of swarming spiders. Ugh. Even if you can do it according to the action economy, could you bring yourself to do it?
You can do it after they're dead.
Oh goodness. Mace to the face as you connect with a 21. For 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And true to the Dungeon Master's words, they do take reduced damage from that mace, but not that much reduced. Nowhere near the 5. You leave them badly injured as you hear them crushing underneath the weight of the mace.
Alright, that's all 3 actions.
And as your turn rolls to an end, we roll back over to the horrifying swarm monster, which is going to quickly pull itself, as I just move Ulog up to a singular point here, into Ulog's space. Swarming across your character. As it does, I need a reflex savings throw, as it attempts to bite you as well with its chewing bites. You manage to pass on the first one, but it continues to gnaw, continues to ravage across your form, attempting to get you with strikes. Give me another one, as it's only a singular action for it to trigger that ability. 17 and an 18 as you're just looking across at Dean like, maybe you do have bad luck today for this one thing. Maybe you do. And I'm just going to adjust this other spider up 1 foot since it's its own unique thing. But that's going to be it, as that spider is unsuccessful in causing pain. But as for the one that's looking towards Nestry still, it's going to still try and drive those fangs into your character's face. Oh goodness, I say that, and I'm going to need a fort save as it has been successful in breaching your armor class. And for that, you're taking 6 points of damage, but you pass on that check, managing to resist the spider's deadly poison. But it continues to try and bite, and I roll another 1. What the hell? That's like 5 1s in this one combat. Oh, never mind. They made up for it. Next shot manages to connect on their 3rd hit, and I'll need another fort save from Nestry, as the Dungeon Master gets a critical on this one. And you pass with a DC, as you get a 16 on that.
Wait.
That's a good time to have expertise on there, but you still take a whopping 12 points of damage from a critical hit from this monster. I will say one honest thing though. Your AC was high enough that that critical hit was almost a regular damage roll. Almost. One more and it would have done it. Holy wow. As the Vaxian's turn comes up next against the hunting spider before them.
Alright, I'll start with strike against this one in front of me.
17's a miss against the spider as it ducks low under the... Oh wait, sorry, you flanking it. That's a hit.
Alright, so... be 10 damage of the personal antithesis.
And as you bring up, wrap the key around your hand to grip the blade even better, you swing down hard with your hatchet, right in between the eyes of the spider, who gives a slight screech as its legs pull in towards its form, and you finish off the creature.
Oof. Thank God. I'm going to do a exploit vulnerability on the hunting spider.
All right.
My character sheet. Where is it? Getting confused with my tabs here. Alright, okay. So
Ooh. As you pull your knowledge check with a 20, you have passed the check. Not critically, but you've passed the check. Not that I have any resistances or immunities to tell you for these ones. The hunting spider appears to have none. It takes regular damage from all things.
no worries. And then to give it a intimidating glare.
Ooh, we'll save DC. 15 for the hunting spider as you make a shot towards them. Why did it have you roll dice though? It's just the will save too. Let me just check that ability.
Well, I attempted to demoralize it, so I need to beat its will save DC.
Oh, it's telling you. Oh wait, it probably says target hunting spider will DC, but it probably doesn't tell you the number, does it?
I don't know the number. It just said success.
It says it out loud for it for me, but you know that's the thing with Pathfinder. It shows more info.
Yep.
It'd be nice if it graded that so I'd know, but that is definitely a demoralizing shout that has worked against them, as that hunting spider is now frightened. Frightened one anyway.
Just to confirm, did you target that time?
Yep.
Okay, that's why. Because I noticed, like, when I do it versus when other people attack, I just automatically target for my other campaign, and it always shows me, like, result, success,
Yeah.
failure, miss.
I need to get into the habit of doing it with Pathfinder because it seems like
It's
a
helpful.
lot. Yeah.
Yep.
Whereas in 5e it was kind of didn't make much difference, but
With all the
try
small
to
things.
train myself.
I think that's actually based off modules, because, like, my other DM has it set up, and when you aim in his, it actually does the same thing, including when we roll damage, it automatically applies damage.
All
But
right.
those are modules he's set up.
All right. Cool. Well, that's all free actions. So
All right.
go
I
to,
usually avoid the automatic damage application because of what was said earlier. I use my reaction and he takes less. I use mine, now it's none. I use mine and now I hit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I wait until those resolve and I'm like, okay, so it's 2. Let me just edit you for 2. Oh goodness. Now,
Which is fair. Yeah.
roll the recovery check on that as well to see if
Yep.
you can beat that with a 15 or better, and give me another fort save as you are still suffering
Yep.
from that
I
bite.
believe in you, Dean. You can do it.
You
You
just-
gotta
jinxed
believe in
him.
yourself.
I don't respond.
I did it!
To
Oh!
positive reinforcement. So
You don't add
that's-
anything to fortitude?
No, that's the flat check to
Yep.
remove bleed.
His
So that's
Yeah.
gone.
It just closes. The wound looks better. Now he gets a fort save against the trapdoor spider venom that he's suffering through.
He's gotta believe in it.
Oh, he's got a pass.
Told you, we had to believe in it. You needed my words of encouragement.
So no further
So,
effects.
so why didn't you encourage him before?
Cause yeah, I have to be selective about when I wield it, John.
Oh, okay.
Now this spider is going to willingly move to get into a more advantageous position. Actually, can a feared creature move closer to the thing that has it afraid?
I
think it's-
think so.
Because I think it's just
Well-
flat negatives is all it gets, really.
I think if it's I think frightened 3 means that you need to run away. I'm not sure what frightened 2 does.
Because all it says is just bad and they're scared.
Yeah. It should. I think it frightened 1. It
Frightened
just
one,
takes
you
it
grip with fear
-1.
Yep.
and struggle to control your nerves. The frightened condition.
Yeah,
must
'cause-
increase value.
It says that right over the enemy, so long as it doesn't include anything else. I just wanted to give the double check, because otherwise I wouldn't have moved it closer. But it is circling around Oolog to get itself a more advantageous swing. And I do love that Pathfinder does all the math in the background for this, because I still just gotta click the button to make it roll for the swings as it tries to bite you. But against an armor class, oh wait, actually that's gonna be a hit. So I need a fort save from Oolog. And it's for 6 points of damage on this bite, unless anyone's using any reactions.
Yeah. I'm going to give him resistance 4 to that damage.
So it's only 2 points of damage for Oolog. to drop you down to a nice shiny 34. The spider, however, still has 2 more bites at its disposal, and it's going to attempt to slash into your character. But it's unable to with the second. I could yet roll another 20 on the third. But thankfully not today, as we go over to Nestry's turn next.
Okay, I have a question. Another one. So if I wanted to use hydraulic push, would you want me to line it up so that the direction in which I'm firing it is the direction in which the target needs, like, target's gonna get pushed back? Like, for example, if I were to hit this spider with hydraulic push, and would it only be able to go in this direction? Or would you allow me to aim it? So say if I wanted it to go in, like, this direction, we could do that.
I think it has to go away directly from you, but I'm double checking on this.
I can display the thing if it's helpful.
Oh, I'm pulling up other rules of knockback and all that at the moment. Because you're basically spraying the spider back, and it would be hitting Deacon or the spider swarm because it's back away from you. So I'm going to say for that one, from what I'm seeing, it has to go in the direction that would be pointed away from your token. So from this point, because if you fired from this corner, then logically you could shoot them this way. This corner would let you go that way, but what you can't do is a horizontal shift. So anywhere in this 45 degree on knockback, just for now, I'm going to say is how that works. And I'm going to look that one up. But that's your range.
Okay.
Anywhere within there, you can spray them backwards. Mind you, shooting them directly back, they're going to run into Deacon and the spider swarm, and I have to make a ruling on whether that would stop them in their tracks. And most likely, yeah, it's not going to push them past those.
Okay.
Probably
Well, I
want to push
definitely-
them closer to me, because then I can start doing my retributive strike to you guys as well.
I was thinking about that. I was what I was really hoping for was if Alan would let me get away with hitting the swarm with damage from, like, if I hit this guy in this direction, well, he's not going to go far enough back anyway because he needs to go 10 feet. Because I was thinking about getting these ones away from Devaxian. I don't think I can do it.
I think that
I don't think I have enough movement. Like, if I went, like, over here somewhere, I couldn't. I don't think I could push it against the swarm without hitting log.
I think you're probably just better off trying to kill the one in front of you.
Yeah.
And just start taking them off the board, and then so I think that one's uninjured, so it's probably just going to move back, get one of us. So if you make yourself safe, you can start, like, pinging arrows off it.
Yeah, I was just hoping to.
Yeah.
Really wanted to rebound it against something. I'll try it Maybe I'll try it anyway. Maybe I'll go here, take my 5-foot stride, and can I try to launch this spider using hydraulic push on it into the swarm? One behind Deacon. Yep, like
Essentially,
that.
that's the sort of range you're getting on it.
Would that be alright?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna try it.
So you're
It's
gonna.
2 action.
It's 5 to 10 feet to move it, right?
Pardon me?
They can
It
move-
moves, it gets pushed back 10 feet.
The full 10. So it would drive out to this point.
Oh, sorry, critical success, sorry. No, you're right, Alan, you're right. It's 5 feet on a
Okay.
regular success and 10 on a critical. You're right.
All right. So, if you want to go ahead, have we done a roll for that yet?
No, I was just
All right.
making sure my plan was clear.
A lot to track for those ones. Because it'll hurt the heck out of the enemy. just see here for measurement controls, which should be popping up for me, but they're not. There we go. As you strike with a 20, that is indeed a hit, which will shove them 5 feet further back. And you also get the damage on that, so if you want to roll that.
I will. Is it 3d6? But already.
Looks like it.
Wouldn't it be great if you just like use the spell, it dies, so it's just body parts flinging about?
Yeah, just knock out a couple of the.
John's in a
spores as
vicious
well.
mood today. Well, as you strike with it, it's pretty much that. The core body flies through the air and the legs stay behind before they slowly fall to the ground, obliterated in one clean shot of sheer hydraulic pressure. The body just topples backwards at that point, little more now than a destroyed insect.
Did it do anything to the swarm? Like, would they have gotten any damage either from having a body launched into it?
Oh, you obliterated that thing before it even launched through the air, and I'd have to figure that out.
That's fair enough.
Nothing in the spell would give it the extra. I'd probably be willing to do a sort of thing with that where I'd be looking at inverse fall damage being dealt to the creature that's being hit by it, and stuff like that. But at the moment, I get to actually set aside and said, nope, don't have to worry about this today.
Okay.
You just made it fall apart.
Indeed. You're just holding up the hand. Hydraulic push! And it's gone. Just the legs are left behind.
It's everything that I have.
So,
No, that's 2 actions and a stride, so.
as Nestri's turn comes to a close then, beautifully done killing the enemy, Ulog is up next, still standing in the pile of the Chew Spider, and the Hunting Spider at your back. Oh, and that thing's no longer scared. Its turn came to an end on that, so I have to remove that condition from it.
Ooh. Critical hit.
Hey!
Unless something's actually different.
As you're striking towards the Hunting Spider, and you get a 25, thanks to its
Nice.
armor class being reduced, that is indeed a critical hit. Because it actually takes that into account for some reason. I'm not... Do you have it set that you have it done that, or did it actually realize it was flanking based off your position itself?
It's based off the where we're flanking.
You didn't actually put anything in to give it the -2, it
Nope.
did it itself. That's actually clever that it
Exactly.
realizes they're allies and does the extra board math. That's some really impressive background coding. I'm impressed by that. So that's definitely a hit as you roll in for 14 points of damage against this monster, leaving it very much near death, but not yet passed from this world as it still stands before you.
I will then use a 5-foot step. And then I'm going to look at Devaxian. And heal you up some 6 points of health.
Thank you.
Not a problem. So that'll be my 3 actions.
All right. Did we actually get a lay on hand style? All right.
Yep.
That bring you back up to a nice solid 16. Very comfy.
Oh, I'm still flat-footed because of the poison, right?
Yep. If you pass that check
Okay.
one more time, you won't be poisoned anymore.
Right.
As that turn comes to an end, we've got the Hunting Spider standing across from Phoenix's turn, which is going to attempt to do what it's already been trying. More bites against your armor class, and the first is going to be a hit, so I'm going to need a fort save as you sink back 8 points of damage from that shot. And you ace that save. The second attack follows up as well. That one also is a hit. I'll need another fort save, as you only take 4 points of damage from this one. And with the odds really pushing... Oh my god, you're at 1. With the odds really pushing it, you manage to stave it off a second time. Can they roll a crit on their third hit? Well, most assuredly not. Phoenix holds their ground against this spider that's really giving them its all. But the swarm that sits on top of Deacon continues to bite and bite and bite. I will need 3 reflex saves from their attacks.
Sorry, do you mind if I actually just change one little thing? I should have actually stepped to this side.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Not that I can reach, but it's getting me closer to my friends.
Oh, yes.
3 reflex saves coming up.
Yup, as it makes 3 bites against you. That's a pass. You get
Believe in
a
you,
+9.
Jameson.
You know what? Thank
That's
God
pass.
that there's not a multiple save penalty.
Right? Oh, we do get 1 fail on the list as one of the bites managed to break through your defenses for a whopping 3 points of damage, exposing you to the swarm's venom. Give me a fort save.
I mean, you say that, but like realistically, like it's kind of annoying that like it's like, oh, they have to make the save so we don't get the penalty
But
because it is making 3 attacks. It's just like the attack has to save instead of an attack. You
Plus
think
double save.
the save will get easier each time?
well,
I
if I'm
think
being
that
swarmed by
off-
spider and they're all trying to bite me and I'm trying to swat them off at the same time, I can understand every now and again one getting through.
I mean, yeah, but like
I think
logically speaking, I understand it, but game mechanics, it doesn't.
The other flip is
follows
there's
it.
a balance to these things. After all, it's only doing a d4 for the bite, but then they have to deal with the poison, which you haven't seen the effects of yet, but it isn't like some of the other poisons you've seen tagged, versus the other spider's attacks, which are considerably higher in damage than that. So that's their trade-off whenever they do anything that's just a save. Plus, they have to make it something of a challenge for you heavies. Mind you, though, Deacon's shrugged this one off, as we can see, so he's taken a whopping 3 points before we roll over to Phoenix's turn next.
My money's on that Devaxian's gonna be a were spider.
Oh gosh.
A weird spider. Ugh, my worst nightmare. I think the offset for the swarms as I think they're quite squishy.
So very squishy. They got that resistances, but as you saw from Deacon, he halved them with 1 shot last turn. So Dan is up now, able to do more butt kickery to these spiders that are trying to take him out. Ooh. And he's gonna grab a rock. You're in the middle of the woods, it could be a rock, a stick, anything. And the 27 is most assuredly a hit, and I'm guessing you're swinging at the hunting spider down here. If you want to go ahead though and roll your damage, because that's a good hit on that first one.
That's an 18 to hit.
18's still a hit. I was looking at Deacon's 27 on the fort save. 18's definitely a hit. As you strike the creature with a boulder that you pull off from the side, just flicking your hand like, look, I don't got time, you're not killing me. As you crush the little spider.
Nice.
Legs
Nice.
spreading out wide underneath that rock before it flops over, stone dead.
I see what you did there.
Yep. That leaves you with 1 action remaining if you want to pull anything for Phoenix. Force bolt. Ah, yeah. Who's getting stabbed by a force bolt?
The swarm, because it's the only thing in range.
All right. So you take a shot at. Oh, it's only a 30-foot range on that.
But it's automatically hit.
Yep, that's a freebie, and it's force damage, and they have 0 defenses against force damage. And with 3 points of force damage, you cripple the swarm, bringing them very much near death, severely injuring them as they hold the line. And with that, Phoenix's turn is up, and Deacon's up next. Might even be throwing that sideways thumbs up to Phoenix for helping out on that.
Oh, definitely. He is not enjoying the swarm.
At this point, it's a micro swarm with many of their numbers gone away. Still doesn't affect the dice outcome, my goodness. Nat 1.
Okay.
Unless you want to use
another.
I think you might have a hero point. I'll give you the reminder on that.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I'm going to use a hero point to re-roll that attack.
Alright, so you give that a reroll, and we'll see if it tags. 17 is a hit. For 8 points of damage total. Even with the reduction, that's enough to finish off the swarm with your first swing of of this fight. Round, rather. And as you move your character to what I always like to call a more advantageous position, 20-foot sidestep, or 25-foot in this case, brings you to a point that reduces the armor class of that Choose Spider swarm by 2, though they are yet unharmed in this fight. But you've got the weapon to deal with it. It's a swarm-type enemy. Even though I made it one picture, it's supposed to be a bajillion of them. And a 19 is definitely a hit. Actually, hang on now. That's a multi-attack penalty on that.
Yeah, I did the -5.
He did.
It did. It is counted in. I just didn't notice that right off. So that is a hit for 9 points of bludgeoning damage, which I'm going to see if it'll smart reduce. Nope, it
I
didn't.
don't think it.
So, it strikes the enemy, leaving it injured, but still standing, as Deacon connects with a beautiful shot. And with that, your 3 actions done, we move over next to that very same spider, who's going to skitter and gnaw as it rushes its way forward, taking up the space of all 3 creatures above it. Now, if Deacon has an attack of opportunity, you can most assuredly make it at this time.
Oh, absolutely.
So by all means, give a swing. And a 20 is definitely a hit through their armor. Go ahead and apply up that sweet bludgeoning damage as you hit it. And it does manage to resist some of that damage, but quickly asserts itself, swarming both Ulog and Devaxian. Both of you give me a basic reflex savings throw.
Oh, hero point.
I was like, hero point, I'm using it now. All right. Well, you go ahead and use that hero point. All right. You both. Actually, let me see here. Devaxian has passed the initial reflex save, but Ulog has failed and will need to give me a fort save, as you are now tagged for a d6 of bleed damage. And with a 17 on your fort save, you have failed and are poisoned by the Choose Spider. And since you are poisoned by the Choose Spider, this comes with some effects. You immediately take 1d6 points of poison damage, which I'll toss up there for 5 total. And your character now has Clumsy 1 on top of their characters. Your movements become clumsy, and you take a status penalty of 1 to your dexterity-based checks and DCs, AC, reflex saves, ranged attack rolls, and skill checks using acrobatic, stealth, and thievery. Not incredibly of a drag for Ulog, given that you can beat the snot out of things with your strength, but still a pain in the ass to deal with. And that's gonna be it for this monster's turn, as Devaxian's turn comes up next.
Alright, I'm gonna take a step here, and I'm gonna swing at the...
Can you do me a favor? Send me that message with like the conditions and such.
Oh,
If you don't mind.
If you click on your character and look to the top right, you should see them actually displayed. You can hover over there and it'll show them to you. That's all I was reading off. Saves a lot of time. And it should auto-calculate them for you as you're going through. I love that they do that. And Devaxian misses, unfortunately, against the hunting spider as you curve just a little bit low. And indeed, it is taking that flanked into account. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy.
Okay, I'll take a second swipe. Hope for something better.
That's better, as you definitely hit with the second swing. Go ahead and roll up your damages as you lay in against this vicious spider for 6 points, finishing the creature off.
Alright, cool. And, let's see, that would be minus... So this thing hasn't caused damage itself, right? It's just caused effects.
The bleed damage and the poison. That's been it so far.
Okay. Right.
That being said, when does it even get a turn? Not for quite a... Oh my god. It's last in the turn initiative order now, Dean. You've got 4 more players to hit the damn thing before it comes back to its turn.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to figure out, because I could exploit vulnerability on it, so I could do my Amulet Abeyance.
Oh yeah.
But just because it doesn't seem to be causing the damage itself, I don't know if it would work. But you know what, I'll do it just for the knowledge check. See if it reveals any
Alright.
weaknesses, stuff like that.
That's a nature check, or, you know, your usual ability for that.
Yep.
With a 12, you have failed. Not critically, but you have failed.
Alright, so that would only trigger the personal antithesis. Okay, cool. So that's my turn, so I'll give you a fort save for the poison.
Yep.
With yeah, that's not gonna do it.
A fail on that one. Your character takes more poison damage. Oh, I rolled a 1. Aren't you lucky for the damage? However, you are also slowed on top of being flat-footed. The slowed condition not being too fun to deal with. Fewer actions at this point. So you only get 2 actions at the start of your next turn, essentially. And so long as you're suffering poison, it's only going to get worse. Nestry up next.
I'm gonna shoot flame at it.
Alright.
That's pretty hot.
Poor Oolog says as they get hit since they're in the space. Oh god. 15 is a miss as they manage to dodge.
We'll use a hero point.
Alright. Give that a reroll, see if it tags. .23's a hit. As you burn
So I
2
think-
actions to burn this enemy.
I think it's just a D4 plus your spellcasting ability. Does
If you-
plus 6 seem high? Plus 6 seems high.
For your spell abilities? Well, in this, it does from Dungeons and Dragons. When you're inside of
if you-
this.
Yeah. If you're clicking like the damage button from the spell, then it must be right.
No, plus 6 is right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you got the high
Okay.
stats and the high ability in this one, it pays off. The ceiling's
Oh,
a
it
little
would
different
be.
too, so.
It would be 10 then.
10 points of damage leaves this creature very critically damaged, as it barely clings to life now, near death as it staggers on those legs.
Can I try shooting an arrow at it?
Yeah? You've still got 1 action left. I mean, it's at a -5 because you've made an attack. But yeah, definitely. We'll see
Try
if you
my
can
hunter's
break.
bow.
Alright.
Oh, hang on. I don't know how to do this. Does it take an action to draw it?
Oh, I would assume you'd have
Had
a
the
weapon in hand. I mean, you're in the middle of the woods creeping away.
I would have had my bow staff, but I was gonna try my hunter staff. But if it's
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to take more actions that I have, so I'll just use the bow staff then.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That bow staff's a fun weapon. Versatile for these situations. Oh, goodness. That's definitely a hit. Roll an 18 on that dice.
Oh, it's only 1 point of damage.
You cut off half the health it has left with that attack. I'm so sorry. It
It's
still
okay.
clings to this world.
I did my best, you guys.
Your best left it with 1 health. I think that's pretty impressive. Oolog's turn next.
Nimbar, grant me strength. Use a special action to make my sword catch on fire. Because why not at this point?
Fair. Get that 1 extra point of fire damage.
Oh, it always gets 1 extra point. Now it's a d6 extra point. Oh, I targeted the wrong person.
Oh, you targeted me? No! Betrayal!
Poor Devaxian. Well, you've got a 19 to hit, and that is a hit. So you go ahead and roll damage on Devaxian. He's like, I don't like that you're rolling with this, Alan. All right, 11 points of damage. It's not enough to kill Devaxian. Oh gosh.
The being said, it should have dealt an extra 4 points of fire damage.
Alright, but that is enough to finish off the swarm. Even with its damage resistances, it only had a singular point of health remaining. So, it wasn't too much to take that creature down. As you finish off the beast, as night continues to creep in around you, you'd notice as well, looking back towards your caravan, that they're firing off some arrows, holding their own ground. But as you slay some of the larger ones, the spiders overhead skitter and move their way away, separating the distance out, it would seem, or at least keeping a fair distance from you all. At the very least, they seem apprehensive now to approach any closer. And you might be wondering, but wait, we're poisoned, we got issues. Well, on the plus side, the spider venom poison only lasts for 6 rounds. And as for that bleed condition, you just gotta get back to full health or get some healing done. As much as I'd love to try to put some pressure on, only one of you has a poison, and, well, there's not much pressure that can be added when you have the degree of healing in your equipment that the players do. Nope. No more further pain to cause. You can feel free to heal yourselves up. Addison doesn't appreciate it though. She goes, you should make them suffer more, but no, you've got enough trouble. After all, you're still in the middle of these woods. Now you have creeping danger not just behind every corner, but over every head.
I think I want to just check something, sorry.
Oh, no worries at all. Now, I will add, since we're about out of time
It did
for this
do
one.
it. Okay.
Oh,
I have a checkbox at the top that I can stroke the flames of my sword.
Nice. That makes things easier.
Yeah.
When you
Now we
make
know for next time.
your way back to the caravan to check in on them, I'll give you this info for what's a-coming. They acknowledge that that was a bit of a surprise fight, not the most fun, but they also have something of good news for the 2 party members who are presently ill. One of the people traveling with the caravan has confirmed that there's a small town at the borderline of this forest, a little bit further ahead, nearing the next major path that they've been trying to get through. All 3 paths you're taking would lead to the same place, but on this path, you find that there's a town of loggers and hunters at the far edge of the forest that they know of. They also hear that they might have access to some powerful healers. With any luck, they might be able to help cure your condition there. But, they add, at this point you're about halfway through this forest trail. There's no point in turning back now against the creatures overhead. You've still got to make your way out of here in order to make it to that next town. And then from there, they add, this town is basically the last stop the pilgrims make before they dare start traveling through the deadly wastes that lie ahead, where the storm ravages the land and what was once a great desert has become an almost certain graveyard for those who try to trek to the mighty kingdom of Blackrock. But all in a day's work for adventurers like you, right?
Yep. Well, the vaccine tries to see it as he vomits blood.
Deacon will just let out a very audible groan.
It's on the plus side. The spiders don't seem to want to mess with the team anymore, so may not have much to worry about against them. But there is still something I've got up my sleeve. before you all finish your time in this area. But as for spoilers for next week's game, you know, on the next episode of Pathfinder Z, the team will be enjoying a nice campfire on their next night relaxing in this area. So you know you've got a full 24-hour period plus a few hours to heal up, provide any useful abilities you might need, because you did take a pretty hard punch on the nose, but clap yourselves on the back. Given your level and the amount of people in the party, that spider battle was specifically designed to be practically an extreme fight if we're looking at EXP balance and levels. And it would have been even worse if you took those goblinoids off on the get-go, because they would have chipped away at some of your resources. But the team did a smart and clever thing, managed to get through one fight without having to do it, which really helped with that second fight. After all, no one likes a black eye before they have to fight the big battle. So take yourself... Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I think some of us might actually have went down if we'd fought those goblins.
It would have been wild, and it would have been fun. And then you would have had the spiders. But thankfully, things worked out well for the team, even though I put the pressure on. And what I can also promise you all, once you make it out of this forest, once you're about to step grounds into this next mysterious town, a small ramshackle place on the woodland edge, you'll all be level 3 when you arrive there. But you gotta finish this forest first. I got one last surprise up my sleeve for you all before we move on. And it's going to be at your campsite tomorrow.
So do we level up our characters, or do we just wait?
Not yet. We've still got one
not
more.
Yet. Okay.
Once you're out of this
just
forest.
making sure.
Once you're
I was pretty sure that's what you were saying, but I just wanted to double check.
On the plus side, you'll have a town to rest in. All them goodies you've got, some of the gold, some of the treasure, all that sort of stuff. Which also reminds me, I almost forgot the important thing. Treasure. So as you are peeking through here, you would indeed find one thing of note, because I know the party likes their loot, but we're also a little shy on time. You'd find, in fact, a spider egg nest, though it looks to be practically hatched out, and set on top a pile of adventuring gear, backpacks, and all that good stuff. Leftover detritus, pieces of armor, all but ruined. But that doesn't mean there isn't anything to be found there. First off, you find a pouch. And I'm going to go to the handouts with this information, mind you. You find a pouch among this stuff, containing a total of 30 gold pieces. And on top of that... Oh goodness, Addison's excited. She goes, gold, 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 yes!
Lit time!
You see in the pile, though it's in bad shape and needs repaired, a minor sturdy shield. Which just looks wonderful. I mean, it's a sturdy shield. And an item that might not be the most useful to the team. You see a set of mystically enhanced and covered hand wraps. I have a nice pretty shot of them. A hand wraps of mighty blows, +1. Lovely item.
For monk.
Yep. But, you know, dubbins is dubbins, and you've got a town coming up. So I'll put those 3 items into the handouts for you all. Unless somebody actually wants to go, like, unarmed attacks with that.
Listen, don't tempt me. I feel like Gandalf. Don't tempt me, Frodo. I love playing my book so much on our Tuesday game.
Just let me check something, because...
talking about Frodo, sorry. I told you this weekend was the Pro Tour. One of my friends actually went. And
nice.
last night, as part of the thing, because it's the Lord of the Rings set, they had Elijah Wood DJ a concert for the players.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
I will tip my hat to that. That's pretty cool.